Hello. In this clip, I'm going to explain set point, also known as settling point, which is a concept used to describe why people's weight settles like it does in adulthood. So this is my weight, my weight, given my current circumstances, my biography, so my life, events in my life, any experience with dieting, with trauma, with anything, and my genetic makeup as well, my biology. If something was to change in my circumstances, let's say I moved to a really rural area of Uganda and I wasn't getting my red wine and chocolate, it was really hot, I was walking a long distance for water every day, my food was very different, and just generally my circumstances were very different, I'd imagine that I'd probably lose weight. If I stayed in my current circumstances, but something happened in my life, perhaps I got an injury and I couldn't run like I usually do, or maybe I needed to start taking medication, something like steroids or some mental health medication that can increase metabolism, that can change metabolism. It could be that I'd put weight on. But for me to try and alter my weight, short of moving or a significant change in my current circumstances, is well nigh impossible. The only ways really would be to take up smoking. That often leads to weight change. And sort of anything behavioural that I did would be symptomatic of having an eating disorder. And why is that? Why is it that our weight is pretty stable? Well, that's because of set point. And the set point is the weight, or often it's like a weight range that we settle at in our current circumstances. And in fact, I've been the subject of my own experiment in the last 2 years, because about just over 2 years ago, in fact, early September, I fell over and I banged my head on a rock. And so I wasn't able to run. And before that, I was running probably an hour to an hour and a half a day. And I was also cycling and also walking. And my weight has stayed pretty much the same. And what I want to mention is that if that had happened to me, if enforced rest had happened to me at an earlier time in my life, it would have been an absolute nightmare, because I would have been terrified of putting weight on. I would have been completely preoccupied with food. My mood would have just been really low, agitated, anxious, constantly. So my sleep would then have been disturbed, concentration disturbed. The whole thing would have just been terrible. As it is, instead, I was left with a real sense of gratitude that I've been able to come from that place and realise that, yes, maybe I will put weight on and that's fine. I'll be me, I'll be heavier, it's fine. And also then, if I had put weight on, maybe it would change if I was able to start running again, and maybe it wasn't, and that was fine too. Or maybe it wouldn't, and that would be fine too. So that's it really for set point or settling point. What it shows is that we are born with a genetic capacity. So for example, this is my height given the nutrition that I've had. If people are starved in utero, we know that that can significantly affect adult weight and height. If I hadn't have had the nutrition that I've had in the early years of life, it's very likely that I'd be a lot shorter. So we have a genetic capacity, and that gets realised in conjunction with our circumstances, which includes nutrition, but very much goes above and beyond that. I hope that's helpful, and if you've got any questions, please feel free to email or ask in the live session. Bye.